There's a number of HERS modeling softwares available out there, but Ekotrope is considered the industry standard. It is used by nearly 80% of all US HERS ratings. And in Massachusetts specifically, it has been found that nearly all have exposure, if not use, Ekotrope. Some are still using REM rate, some use energy gauge, but by far Ekotrope is the industry standard. Ekotrope has a list for project names, rater of record, and so on. You can navigate this, you can find projects and so on through the search bar. It's an online platform, so everything is accessible from anywhere. You can share these projects with folks in your office or other organizations. If you open one up, you'll find there's 4 quadrants. One is the project info tab. One here is notes. This lower right quadrant is the component library, and the lower left is the building designs. If we start at the project info area, you can see this is tabular in that you've got site information, address, and so on, rating information, the date, permit, what type, and utility rates information. Editable, and you can add and customize anything you like. Back to the main dashboard. We'll look at the building designs. This is really the meat and potatoes of the energy model. It's a tabular design, as you can see running across the top. And over on the far right is another small section, which is also tabular. This will remain in view throughout every tab. So compliance, area, energy, and notes. This shows the HERS rating as this home is currently modeled at a HERS 55. Back to the main tabs, they're broken into general info. Envelope is where you'll see all the various assemblies that make up the envelope, starting with slab, frame floor, foundation, above-grade walls, rim joist, and either the ceiling or the roof. And each of these is customizable. In this case, we're just named this one the wall. The type is the 2x6 69 center R19 bat. Or you can add one. This one starts off with a basic one, and you can amend it from there. Or you can look at the one you currently have and make sure it's set up correctly. It's nice because you can build these assemblies layer by layer. You can add more from the exterior, or you can add more from the interior. You can even shift these around if you feel it's important to look at it that way. Very customizable. And that applies to all the entries, library entries here, and along down to the ceilings and even the floors and so on. It's very useful. Fenestration does the windows and the doors. Mechanical will break down the heating, cooling, and water heating equipment. Distribution will describe either the radiant floor or perhaps even radiators, and in this case is set up for forced air, ducted, and so the ducts are described here. You break it down further into a ventilation type. In this case, we've chosen an ERV. There are other things like exhaust only or supply only and so on. Dehumidifier, there's not one modeled in this one, but it could be. Whole house fan, also not modeled. And then the various natural ventilation, ceiling fans, and type of thermostat. Water, fixtures, hot water pipe length, various other questions. Lighting, fluorescent versus LED. If it doesn't add up to 100%, the software assumes that the remainders are incandescent. So that's an interesting feature. Kitchen appliances are on this side, and then the clothes washing and clothes drying equipment is on this side. The infiltration shows us the blower door results, and it can be modeled as air changes at 50 or CFM at 50, or even down into the shell area, which you'll find the Energy Star multifamily needs a shell area description. Online generation, solar or wind or anything, you can actually model other on-site, but most of them are going to be solar. Codes and programs are broken down into the code, and then these programs are the EPA WaterSense or Energy Star. This is Department of Energy. They have their own zero energy ready or other things tacked on to Energy Star to bring it uh, to zero energy ready standards, version 1 or version 2, and then Energy Star Next Gen and other. It's really broken down nicely. I find it's easily navigated. You can just move tab to tab, uh, and 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 it's very customizable. If you need to look at the areas of your total envelope by comparing it to something else, for example, you know that your slab floors are of a certain area, and you happen to look here and realize, oh, that's far too large. You go back to your slab floor and you can change it. But as you can see, there's only one slab and it adds up to 1410. And in this case, the slab area is 1410. So it does line up, right? But this is a quick glance. Window ratio, window to wall ratio is important to know. Window to floor ratio is also helpful. You'll get used to seeing this type of information. And of course, the windows themselves and the number of them and the size, the area of them. The energy then also splits it out to energy bill and energy consumption, and of course the all-important notes that you want to leave there for not only your own, for yourself to remind you of what you've done or what's next, but also for a colleague that may pick up where you left off, and even for the QA/QC that your provider will be offering. And that way, if you've got it listed out, they may see what you're doing and have no further questions for you. So that might speed the QA/QC process along. In any case, I think that the notes are very important to use in conjunction with all of this. It helps keep things organized. All in all, Ekotrope is a really fantastic system. You know, to get out of here, you normally click Save and Close. If you don't, nothing you've changed will save. So you want to click Save and Close if you've made changes, or click Cancel, and it will not save anything. So if you wanted to play around like I just did, you might want to jump out of there, hit Cancel, in case you made some sort of mistake. But go back to the main dashboard. This is a look at that library where we initially looked. That's a quick look. You can go through the library, and then you can go back to the My Projects page, which is again where we all started. Yeah, I think Ekotrope is a really great way to do energy modeling, and you will be exploring it further in the course. And this is the software of choice by most folks in Massachusetts.